Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Flo and this video is going to be a weekend vlog in London. So I have a few things going on this weekend, all bookish related. So I thought, why not film the whole thing and take you guys along. It's Friday morning, I've booked a half day's holiday because I am going to the South Bank Book Festival. They have loads of different events happening, virtual and in person. And it's a mix of book talks, but also for aspiring writers, which of course I am. And so today, this afternoon, I'm going to a podcast recording and watching it live. It is BBC 4 and it also features Elizabeth Day. So I'm really excited to go and watch that. It starts at 1 p.m. today. So I think it's a couple of hours. So I'm gonna go and do that. And then I'm gonna come back and maybe read or write, I'm not sure. I'm currently reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I've only read one chapter, so I'm excited to get stuck into it, and the weather is terrible. It's absolutely chucking it down with rain, which means perfect fantasy reading weather. And then tomorrow I've got another event for the festival, but it's a YouTube live stream for writers. I don't know too much about, I booked it ages ago. I can't remember what the topic is, but I think it's aimed for aspiring writers. So I'm gonna watch that. It starts at 11 o'clock. And then before that, I'm gonna hopefully take my dog for a walk, go to Starbucks and maybe hit some local bookshops. And then of course, I'm gonna be spending the weekend reading as much as possible, but also writing as much as possible. I have done a writing vlog previously and I really loved doing it. It really helped me write so much. So I'm gonna do another recording of me doing my writing process in the hope that it inspires me to keep writing. I am at the peak of drama in the book that I'm currently writing, which is my work in progress called Why You're Gone. And I'm excited to just get back into that drama and immerse. So I've not got too many other social plans outside of that so that I can really focus on writing and hopefully be really inspired after this book festival. So yeah, that kind of looks like what my weekend is gonna be, but of course if it changes you will see that. So without further ado, I thought I would get straight into the vlog. Okay, so I just got back from the podcast filming and I went via the office to get some flowers because they throw them out at the end of the week and so they're free. So I thought I would pick them up, but the orchids look a little bit wilted. So I'm gonna Google how to revive them a little bit. I'm sure if I give them a bit of TLC, they'll look great. And then there's pampas grass in this. So I'm gonna dry that out and put it in a vase that I have and then keep it. But I'm so hot because I was on the tube trying to juggle all of this and I ended up getting a coffee as well. But the podcast recording was so good. I will sort these out and then come back. So after wrestling with those flowers and dying from the heat of the tube, I've now recovered. I can now actually discuss the podcast recording that I was sat listening to. I was an audience member for BBC 4's, I don't know if you can see my dog, but she's just, say hi. So the podcast, I managed to get a free ticket for its South Banks Literature Festival and it's happening through the end of October. So whenever I post this video, I don't know, but it was the end of October. I've got a virtual event booked tomorrow, like I said. I also sat on this podcast recording and then I've also got a live event next Saturday as well, which I will be going to. But the podcast was BBC 4 with Elizabeth Day and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they were hosting the podcast and it's called, I think it's Open Book, which is BBC 4's podcast. And they had 3 guest authors come on and chat with them. So I was in the audience listening to it live. It was amazing. It was about an hour and they were talking about AI, and the authors that were at the talk, that were on the podcast, they had written books that incorporated AI in some shape or form. So one of the books, I'll write all of their details in the description, but one of the books was a kid is raised by mother, which is actually a machine and it's all AI. So interesting and not really the types of books I would read, but they did answer questions about writing with AI. And one of the speakers said that actually AI is a useful tool for reading. So if you're trying to understand like a really complex book, you can put it into like ChatGPT and it can help you sort of understand what's going on in the book. So like doing summaries. And then they were talking about sort of the threat that AI can have in like the writing community. And obviously the challenge for authors is that their fear is that they're going to get replaced by AI. Like these technologies can write novels. However, one of the really reassuring points that one of them made was they were saying, well, people tend to want to read books that are written by other humans, because if a human hadn't thought of the book, why, as a writer, why would a human think to want to read it? She said it way better than me. You should definitely check out the podcast because it was so interesting and I loved it. It was about an hour long, and then I was right around the corner from work, so I picked up the free flowers. And then I've come home to book mail, and so I thought I would open it on here. I was influenced by one of my favourite booktubers, and I love the fact that it's an indie book, but it's Scarlet Princess, and is it the Lachlan series? Is that how I say it? Yeah, the Lachlan Feuds. It's book 1, and I have been dying to read more indie books. Obviously myself, I'm an indie published author, so it's really good to support. But all the books that I see that are originally indie published, I want to get, and then by the time I think to get them, they've been traditionally published because they become so popular. And I do have like my love of popular books. Like I love going on TikTok and kind of finding what books other people are reading. I get heavily influenced. So I'm excited to start this now that I'm fully in like my fantasy era. And I've also now got like the rest of the afternoon because like I said, the recording only took an hour. So I was gonna go to my local bookshop tomorrow morning, but I think I might go to a different bookshop tomorrow morning with Lola and walk there instead. So I might go now and make the most of like my afternoon off, because I saw that the local bookshop had the sequel to this book, and I did just finish this the other day, so I do want to pick up the second book. So I'm gonna go and get that and enjoy my Friday afternoon. Okay, so I just got back from the bookshop and I managed to get the book that I wanted, which was Killer Instinct. It's the second in the Naturals series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's a YA sort of crime type genre, which I've never really read before. So I'm really excited to read this one, and they gave me a cute bookmark, which I will use when I read this book. The bookshop itself, it opened a year ago and literally had nothing in it. None of the popular book talk books, nothing that really took my fancy. But I found like Waterstones didn't have this, whereas that bookshop had it, which is amazing. And then they also had some really classic book talk favourites. They had a really good fantasy section as well. There was loads of like the ACOTAR series, and then they also had Once Upon a Broken Heart, which I do want to get, so maybe I'll get that tomorrow in Waterstones. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to a bookshop tomorrow morning before the live stream, I think. I'm gonna Google now the best Waterstones near me. I really do like Waterstones in Victoria, so maybe I'll go there because they always have really good buy one get one half price deals as well, so stay tuned. Me again, sorry, I did say I would keep vlogging, so technically this is me vlogging. I forgot to mention the audiobook that I have been listening to. I carried on accidentally the free trial from Scribed. I was going to cancel it because I found it a little bit limiting, but then as soon as I did the paid for version, I got loads more access to the library that they have, and all of the books I didn't think they do have an audiobook. So one of them really rogue is HarperCollins have sent me Pizza Girl. It's coming in the mail, and I saw it on Scribed, and it's actually, because I speed up the audiobook, it's only 3 hours. So I've been listening to that today, like when I've been walking to the tube or like walking around the bookstore. So I've got like a couple of things to do around the house, so I'm gonna carry on listening. I've probably got just over an hour left, so I'm over halfway. I didn't know anything about the plot, like I didn't even look at the blurb. I just saw it was on Scribd, so saw it was short and I thought I'd listen to it. So I'm doing that and it's really good. I will like give you some thoughts when I finish the book and update you on that one. Okay, so I have 10 minutes before the YouTube live stream for the South Bank Literature Festival starts, and we've just got back from a morning of book shopping. Lola came with me, and on the walk there, so we walked to Victoria's Waterstones because I haven't been there for ages, and they normally have really, really good buy one get one half price, but the table wasn't that great. I mean, I'd read most of the books that I would have got, so it was quite limited for me, but I did pick up one book. I was going to order it on Amazon and then I checked the price difference and it was only £1, so I was like, well, I may as well get the Waterstones one, support a bookshop. So I got Once Upon a Broken Heart, because the Works used to have this and it was like £3, but it's sold out online and I haven't seen it in any of the shops since being there. I've only seen the second one. So I picked this up full price at £10, which is sad, but I wanted it for another YouTube video I'm gonna do, much like these other two as well, actually. So once I'd gone to Victoria, I was super early because I knew I needed to come back for the YouTube live stream, but I got there at like 9 o'clock when it opened. Didn't spend that long in there because there wasn't that much that I wanted. They seemed to have a lot of books like on the tables that I'd already read, nothing new that was on my list, and I kind of went with a list. And so because I was so early, I was like, oh, Piccadilly is right around the corner. Why not go and see if they've sorted out the displays, because they've been changing it around a lot. And so last time I went, the romance section was empty. This time when I went, the sci-fi and fantasy section was actually empty. But I went because I had some other books on my list and I managed to get them, and it's these two. So I also got, the amazing thing about Waterstones Piccadilly is that they have a lot of indie books, and so I've managed to get Lauren Asher's Redeemed, and it was £12.99, which is cheaper than what was on Amazon actually. So I'm really excited to finish this series. I don't know when I'll get to this book, but I saw it and this was like a spontaneous purchase. And then this was the other book that was on my list, was My Dark Romeo. Annoyingly, this was on Covent Garden's buy one get one half price table the other week, but then they changed it and now it's not on there. So I just picked it up at full price, which is really sad. And the other sad thing I've realised about Waterstones is that there's hardly any buy one get one half price deals anymore, or if there are, it's like books that have come out ages ago. I think it depends on the Waterstones. Each buy one get one half price is different depending on what store you go to. So yeah, I mean, it was very successful for me because I was only going to get 2 books and hopefully get one in buy one get one half price, but it was successful but expensive because I got 3 full price books. But that's okay. 2 of these are going on another YouTube video and I won't spoil it too much, but I needed to pick them up because they're going to be on a next reading vlog that I'm going to do, so stay tuned for that. And so now I've got 5 minutes, so now I'm gonna put myself on the sofa, set up the YouTube live stream, get my laptop out, and hopefully this live stream will be good. Much like the podcast yesterday, I went in not knowing much about it, or like remembering when I booked it, but then forgetting. I know it's about writing, so stay tuned and I'll let you know how it goes. I've just made a coffee as well because I didn't buy one when I was out. That was my like punishment for buying 3 full price books, but I have no regrets because I want each of these. They were on my list and I am really excited to get to all of them. They will not sit on my TBR for ages. That is a promise. So I've been sat here for 15 minutes waiting for this live stream to come on, and you can see the number of people waiting and it keeps fluctuating. Like it went up in the first 10 minutes and now it's going down because I think people are like, is this happening? Like what's going on? But what I will say is when I went to the podcast, they were really strict on email. They were like, you have to come 15 minutes before it starts because we'll be starting promptly at 1. They started at like 1:15. So I mean, I'm not doing anything, so I'll probably just keep it on in the background and then wait and see if it comes on. I'm just scrolling TikTok while I wait, and Lola's having a sleep. So the live stream was a bust. It didn't come on at all, so I think I'm gonna wait. They'll surely upload like a version of it I think they're filming it and then they'll upload it later. So I'll check back later in the day to see if it's there and then watch it. But how rubbish. So many people have left like the waiting room now because it's half an hour later and there's nothing on there and there's nothing on their social media. So that's great. So now I can just get on with writing, I guess. So I've just started and finished a whole chapter, I would say, or at least like a main chunk of it. I think I have like a really small bit at the bottom that I want to add, like a page break, and then go into a bit more. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I'm at like the peak drama of my book, and so I'm on a roll with the writing, but I think I have to take it. I'm like learning how to, I guess, navigate writing whilst working a full-time job, because obviously Monday to Friday I view that very like concentrated hours, 9 till 6, and sometimes with the weekend I try and block out a lot of time to write and I guess use the same style of working. But with something so creative, I forget that really I shouldn't do that, and I think what I need to do is maybe set myself smaller limits in a day. So for example, I guess if I leave like a whole day free, but I go, okay, I'll write 1,000 words this morning, then I'll go and do loads of stuff, and then I'll come back and write another. That would probably be more productive than me like just sitting for an entire afternoon and writing, because then I end up going into Monday feeling so exhausted, and then also what I've written is quite rubbish as well. So I think I'm gonna try and do maybe some weekend days of doing like writing sprints. I think I might look at a few like writers on YouTube and see if they do writing sprints and maybe like how they do it. I don't know any other writers, and so I don't really have that like support network that can like help you figure out how to write whilst working a full-time job, but also love doing other stuff like socializing, cheerleading and reading. I think I'm kind of learning my writing style and writing like process more practically, and I'm almost done with this book. I guess like the editing would take me quite a long time. I think I've written over 50,000 words, so I'm over halfway and I'm learning so much, and I want to really refine this manuscript because I would love to get it traditionally published. Like I'm really enjoying the process and I'm enjoying taking my time with this one and just getting it to a place where I'm proud of it, and then I'll start the scary journey of trying to look for literary agents, which is really scary. I'm gonna read for a bit now. I'm excited to carry on with Powerless, and then maybe going to meet my friend, and then after that I managed to get a last minute space for a Pilates class tomorrow morning. Then I'm gonna go for a dog walk, and then I'm hopefully gonna end this chapter and start writing the next one tomorrow and see how far I get. And yeah, so it's been a great weekend so far, and I'm looking forward to just getting stuck into my book and start reading. Happy Sunday. This morning I went to Pilates and then I went for a dog walk, and whilst I was commuting to my class but also taking the dog for a walk, I was listening to A Court of Silver Flames on audiobook, and although I'm really early into the book, so I can't give my full thoughts on it. I am enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. Much to the same theme as all of the ACOTAR books I've read. I wish I was like taken by the series, but I just haven't been, which is really sad. But other than that, the plan for today, very rogue. My friend was like, do you want to go to a museum this afternoon? I said yes. What I love most about London is how you can go to these places like museums and they have events, but a lot of them are free. I'm trying to make the most of those things in London, especially as it gets a bit colder. Trying to do more things in the day beyond just writing and reading, because sometimes I can really get stuck in my own bubble because my weekends are my only time to write. But I will be writing and carrying on reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts today. I'm either going to sit and read now while I wait for my friend to come so we can go to the museum, although they're running super late and I'm like, this museum shuts at 5, so they better hurry up. I'm going to be reading a bit before they get here, or maybe I'll finish writing my chapter. I haven't decided yet. Either way, I'm then, when I get home tonight, going to get ready for work, but then also write as much as I can before starting the working week and have a very chill Sunday night reset. So I've just got back from the museum. We didn't go to the design museum because we were worried about it being shut because the trains aren't running, so it would have taken us ages to get there. So we walked over to Tate Britain instead, and it was so nice. The museum was actually really good. There wasn't anything in particular that we wanted to go and look at, but it was just nice to like wander around, and it's like really sunny but cold, and then like the leaves are falling, and it's a really pretty walk. So it was really nice to just get out and do something for free in London. It was great, but now I'm ready to like get in my bookish feels, have a bubble bath, definitely wash my hair, and then I think I'm just gonna finish the chapter like I said and just really chill because I need to mentally prepare for going back to work tomorrow. Okay, so as you might be able to tell, I've had my bath. I read my book in the bath for a bit. I've also finished the chapter that I wanted to write in my new romance novel, so I'm feeling very smug. That was my plan for the weekend. I really wanted to just write a good chapter, and I feel like I've accomplished that. I never set out to write a word count because I think when you do that, I focus more on quantity over quality, and I really want to focus on like the quality of my writing, especially because I work full time. So trying to get some good concentrated time to write really good chapters that I'm like proud of, I think is more important to me than going, I want to write 500 words every day and like tire myself out and then write rubbish. So yeah, I feel really good, and I'm glad that there was a lot of like spontaneous socializing on top of going to the literature festival. I'm still gutted that the live stream didn't come on. I need to check YouTube tonight and see if I can maybe watch it this evening before I go to bed. Hopefully they've posted it because I'm super disappointed that it didn't go live. I have no idea why. They didn't even put anything on social media. But anyway, I actually have a live event with them next weekend as well. So I'm excited for that literature festival to carry on. So fun and so great that it was free. Hello. Lola wants to say goodbye as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If this is the type of vlog that you like to see from me, let me know in the comments. And if you have any ideas as to videos that I can do in the future, let me know as well. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.